talk about your vision today and your some new mental programs that you can create for yourself. So I am Lynnie Wennerstrom, and as a tool, I'm using Dr. Shad Helmstetter's book, 365 Days of Positive Self-Talk for Finding Your Purpose, with his blessing to share this with you. So today is April 26th. We are day 117 of the year, 249 days left in 2024, bringing us to 31.97% complete with the year. We're almost at 32%. 32. Did you hear that? At 33, we're almost like a third. 33 and a third, then we are a third. We're moving. So I'm really hoping that you have really started to intentionally set a goal. Like, my goal is to find my purpose by, and then date it. Like, by what day would you like to find your purpose? You have to give your brain precise, specific directions so that it helps you to accomplish what you want. I can't make this go any higher. It should be about right there, but my tripod is about a foot short, so I'll step back. Hopefully you can hear me pretty well. So my daughter just said, Lynette, who you now know probably, she just said that she found there's thunder and lightning happening where she's at, which is about 2.5 hours away from here, north of us. So we had rain, and it's just gorgeous. Look at, there's feather out there. Happy Beans hasn't one to come out. Anyway, so let's talk about you instead of all this beauty. I wish you could smell this, though. Oh, it smells so fresh. So April 26th, I have vision. Every day I practice seeing the big picture, how life works, and what I can do now to make my life work best. So I choose to have vision. So I choose to have vision. I read that. I read it twice now. I see the future I'm creating, and I see a future that works. And why do you see that? Because you have vision. You are practicing using your visionary skills. You want to have that vision and see exactly what it is that you want to achieve. It's kind of like if you wanted to buy a house and you knew exactly like where you wanted to be. So for me, this house, this is a dream house for me. This is a dream house. We built it. And these views, we found mountains. Sorry if went crazy, but we were just looking for a really small space. But the views just had me. And we had found a place, and I said, this is what I want. And that was a couple of years ago, or actually way more than it was like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. But we had been looking for years with the motorhome, and we needed a place for the motorhome. So quick story to finish that really quickly is when we came here during COVID, there wasn't much you could really do, but we continued to look for land. And actually it wasn't during COVID, it was right before. And but anyway, yes, it was, because we had gotten stuck in Sedona, and then we came back, and so we were looking for land. Sorry about that. But anyway, very unlike me not to remember that exact sequence of events. Anyway, so we came looking for land, and I saw this view. Like from over here. Like, we came driving up, and I was like, oh my gosh, Aruz. Wow. Oh, wow. Wow. I have to have it. And all of this was, nothing was there. So anyway, I envisioned it, and hubby drew it. He envisioned it, but just being here. And that helped to make it happen. It's very interesting because I had the mountains, like I wanted the mountains. And this was so much more than what I was seeing, because the other just had like a big space of mountains. This is pure mountains all around. Plus we have part of a mountain behind us. So as part of our land. So anyway, I'm just telling you, envision, see it, see the details, see what it is that you want, and really use your vision. That is your connection to the divine. That is your connection to bring from the invisible, bring the visible. You create it in the visible. I'm telling you, this is how it works. It's very, very powerful. You are very, very powerful. Don't ever forget that. If you take nothing from this today, if you take nothing else from any of the entire series of helping me helping you to find your purpose, take this away, that you are unlimited and you are super powerful and you can do absolutely anything that you put your mind to. You were created to create. You were born to be successful in every single area of your life. And if you're not successful, you don't feel successful as you define success, not as society defines success, but how you define success. If you're not there yet, then it's only because of your programs, for one, and then understanding how to set goals. And I talk to you about setting goals all the time so that you can achieve them, like the right goals, the ones that are not way out there that just you feel defeated because you didn't get them, like New Year's goals or something, that are just way out there and you just don't feel like you can keep going with them. Those goals that, like 10 years out, or I'm going to be a millionaire, I'm manifesting being a millionaire. It's not like that. It's like, what are the steps you're going to take? Like, where do you want to be? And then break it down, like this week. What are you going to work on this week? What are you going to work on today? But you really start with the week, and then you just set, like, say 2 or 3 goals, and you work towards those bigger overarching goals. And you look for the obstacles and you overcome those obstacles. You write down how you're going to overcome those obstacles. This is what I do in my life coaching. It's not just life, it's business, it's living coaching. It's really all about helping my clients to rewrite their mental programs and to set goals, the right goals, and help them to achieve their dreams that become reality. Because truly, as I have mentioned before, goal setting is a spiritual practice, because you are bringing from spirit into manifestation, from the invisible into the visible. So that's what you're doing. And I'm telling you, you're super powerful. Okay, so let me read. How far am I? Okay, I'm only 7 minutes. I've been going a little bit longer lately. Okay, so we talked about the vision, right? You have vision. So now I'm going to read self-talk tip number 11 in Dr. Shad's book. With positive self-talk, you choose a future that works. See how this fits into what we're talking about? So much of the story of positive self-talk is filled with hope. Here's an example. Is it possible that you get to choose your future and make it a future that works? According to research in neuroplasticity and self-talk, that's exactly what you get to do. It's not where you've been or what's happened in your life up to now that will write your future. It's what you choose to do next and the self-talk you use that will get you there. Many people go through their entire lives believing in the old programs, the old mental programs, that tell them that their destinies are mostly set and there's little they can do about it. They are taught to believe that luck and the whims of the world around them are the most important determinants of what happens to them, as though they are pawns in a game of chance over which they have no control. But breakthroughs in the field of neuroscience tell a different story. We now know that much of what happens to us is the result of programs in our brains that literally set us up for success or failure in almost anything that we do. The result of the research is now that we now know our futures are not solely up to the whims of the world around us. You get to choose a better tomorrow. Make sure you have the mental programs that will take you there and create a future that works. Believe me when I tell you how very powerful you are. And your brain is incredibly powerful. So you go into the description and get my 30-day free link for that app of self-talk. And in 30 days, boy, I know that some of you have already done this, maybe even you. So if you've already downloaded, I'd really love to know how that's going for you and how you're feeling. If you haven't done it, please download. It's 30 days free. You can cancel right at the end. I know you won't, because it's that powerful. You'll feel better just listening to it. You listen at the same time every morning, and then before you go to sleep, we're talking about 15 minutes. The sessions that you choose, just 15 minutes. and you can up your self-esteem. You can rewrite. We're talking about neuroplasticity, rewiring the brain with mental programs that serve you as opposed to those that don't serve you. So you can rewire your brain for success in financial strength, in your relationships, in winning with people, in your career, in your vocation, whatever it is you choose, and finding your purpose. I mean, all of these things, your personal growth, and just it's every single area of your life. So I urge you, urge, I urge you, I really do, to go and to download that. Go into the description and get my link for 30 days free. It's life changing. It's life changing on planet Earth. As a spiritual guide and a mentor, there's a different story to success and failure, and I've mentioned that before. But I'm talking about, as part of what I teach, practical spirituality. I'm not talking about the spiritual journey, although this is a spiritual, like the goal setting and all of those things that will help you to get where you want to go. I'm talking about the human experience, the second leg of what I teach. And it all ties together because we're both the human and the spirit at the same time. So I'm just sharing this with you because it's so importante that you understand your power. And this is going to help you really build your self-esteem. That's where it all starts. Like, how do you see yourself when you look in the mirror? Do you go, "Ah," like, it took me a really long time. I used to practice mirror talk. Be like, "Lynnie, you're amazing." This was after I tried to commit suicide many, many times, many years ago. And I was building myself back up, and I was learning all these things because I was really starting to enjoy life significantly because I was changing. And I would practice this mirror self-talk, or mirror talk is what I called it. And when I first started, I would like look in the mirror, and then I'd kind of go, my eyes would go down, then they'd go to the side and say, how do I tell myself I love you? Like, how do I look in the mirror and say, I love you, Lynnie, I love you? It felt so weird. So it didn't feel cheesy in the beginning. It felt almost like it was so difficult to do. It was like I couldn't look myself in the eyes. It's like, wow. It was a very interesting time when I was learning to do that. And now I go by and I'm like, hey, you go, girly. Yeah, high five, and I'm just like, I'm loving it now. And it's interesting because when you look in the mirror, when you look at that person, do you love that person more than anyone else in the world? And I'm talking, even if you have children, you have parents, whatever, do you love you more than anything in the world? Like that. And it's not what we're taught, that ego. It's all about me. I'm gorgeous. I'm so handsome. I'm buff. I'm this, I'm that, or whatever else we might say. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about just that self-love, because that self-love, when you can love yourself unconditionally, and we're all working towards that. I mean, I hope we all are. The more of us that do that, the more we love others, the more love we have to share and give our children, our parents, our siblings, our friends, other people. It's just, you just start exuding this love because you love yourself. And you remember, you're an individual expression of the one. And that means that that's just a matter of degrees. So how could there be anything, especially if you chose it, if you were to believe as I do? I'm not saying you need to believe this or it's true for you. I'm just saying I 100,000 million% believe that we chose this whole experience. And if that is true, and even maybe it just sounds good, so maybe you might adopt it just because it sounds good. But if that's true, how could it possibly be wrong? How could I be too old, or how could you be too young, or too poor, or too short, or I don't know, only men can do this and you're a girly, or you're a guy and women get all the breaks, and who knows what the program, those are all programs. They are all programs. So I share this because you are unlimited. And we talked about what, an absolute truth like 2 days ago. And do you believe that absolute truth just because somebody told you that that's the absolute truth? Well, is it the absolute truth for you? These are programs, and you were told that certain things were the truth, and then you started seeing more of that happening because that's what happens. You start creating that in your reality, so you start seeing more of that, whatever it is. And by the way, that's also visualization. You can also see more money in your future. You can see more more opportunity. It goes all the way, negative, positive. It's all of it. You get to create it. And the more you think about these things, the more you see them in your mind's eye, the more you bring it to yourself. Yes, is it the law of attraction? More than that, it's where you're vibrating. At what frequency are you vibrating? Where are your beliefs, your self-belief, belief in self, love of self? So these are the things that I'm really working towards helping you to go, let me open, expand my mind and see if any of this resonates. Let me go see if I can look in the mirror and look in my eyes. Let me see if I can say, whatever your name is, say your name and say, I love you. I love you so mucho. Can you do that? Coming from a person right here that was very unable to do that for quite a while. And then after I could start doing that, did feel a little bit on the cheesy side. And anyway, then I continued, and as I shared before, it's like, high five, you're doing amazing, girly. Come on, keep on going. You're rocking it. You, ooh, ooh, all those kinds of things. So I love you very, very mucho. You can do this. I believe in you. I absolutely believe in you. And I love you so very, very mucho. And tomorrow we are going to talk about the great truth. The great truth. I didn't say the absolute truth. I said the great truth. So let's see how that resonates with you tomorrow. And we will see you tomorrow on that note. And as always, shining my light to brighten yours. See you tomorrow. Ciao.